Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is in the flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a fight record of 2 wins and 0 losses. He fights out of Fighting Force MMA. Holompho, Maseru. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a fight record of 2 wins and 0 losses. He fights out of BJ MMA. Mduduzi, Nkomo.
In the blue corner, you see the pec pocket. He's popping his pecs. He's so relaxed.
Oh, is he flexing?
Yeah, he's flexing on his opponent. Laser focus here. And now they take center stage.
Maseru straight out to the middle. Nkomo down a bit low.
Beautiful jab. Nice overhand. Oh, beautiful uppercuts.
So well timed as the opponent comes in. He's going back with the uppercut as well, Cam. But nice takedown. Bit of a slip and a nice opportunistic moment for Nkomo to get back on top.
Oh, beautiful arm triangle here from the top.
As he set it up very nicely and very quickly.
Hopefully he does not blow out those arms. There's still 2 minutes left.
He's cracking on it. Maseru looks really comfortable though. Nkomo not gassing out his arms. Looks more like he's trying to control the position more than anything else, Cameron.
100%. If you're the guy on top, you do not want to give up that leg position especially. You want to move over to side control.
Nice reversal, but he's still stuck.
He is still stuck.
But really, it's really difficult to get it from there, and he's popped out. Beautiful work. Nkomo's just still keeping hold of the underhook there on the left-hand side. Let's see if he can slam it down a little bit and just release some of the pressure so he can start posturing up and get some ground and pound. His hips are nicely positioned, though. He's keeping the lock on underneath is Maseru.
And now he's opening up.
Let's get back to his feet. Well timed to get back up.
Also not stopping with the punches in that clinch exchange, which is absolutely amazing. Good leg kick. Both of them taking their time.
Nkomo mixing up very nicely. Goes down to the body
nice
again.
Body shot.
Pumping out that jab, isn't he? Needs to use that to create a little bit more space. Oh, it's a massive overhand. Just swung past.
Oh, beautiful takedown.
Nicely timed again, and really nice control of the space, Cameron. This decagon is actually really quite large. When we came into the venue, I was very surprised about the size of the Versus cage.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. It's a 10 by 10 meter decagon, and I'm pretty sure it's the only one in the world. And it gives a lot of space to move, but it also it's gonna force these guys to really, if they are good stand-up fighters, they have a lot of range, but it's going to force the wrestlers to close the gap quickly.
I've seen traditionally Versus fight nights, we like finishers in this organization, and a lot of the other shows we've had up to today, there's been some incredible finishes, and a lot of these fights actually don't go the distance. Some would say that having a larger space would negate that, but that's not been the case, because these guys in Versus, these amateurs, they come out headhunting and looking for the finish and looking for the sub, and that's what makes these fights here at Versus so darn exciting.
100%. You know, you have a big cage, but you also have very hungry amateurs looking to build their careers. So they're always going to come out here looking for the finish. And for this event, you know, Knockout of the Night is getting a weekend away on a game farm. So these guys are gonna be looking for the finish. And speaking of finish, you see in this replay that beautiful takedown, and immediately starting to follow up with those shots.
Yeah, it was pretty back and forth, wasn't it?
It was, and I must say, looking at the corners, I'm leaning towards the red corner. You know, he looks much more fresh, but them coming out, being on their feet, both of them look pretty tired. So I think it's going to come down to who wants it more. I would like to see more of the stand-up exchanges in this round, but I might also be just a bit biased, to be honest.
It's coming from a guy who's got a superb ground game. But yeah, we were talking about how Versus fighters like for the knockout, and a massive big right from Holompho. Maseru just misses. As Mduduzi and Nkomo just clinches up. Now he's gone up against the fence. Looking again for the takedown is Nkomo.
That first round, just the ice breaker. You can see these guys coming out much faster than the first round.
Again, Nkomo going down low. But it's Maseru who's pushing forward, though. He's got the double. Nice and easy takedown up against the fence.
Another takedown landed.
Not much of a defense from Maseru to prevent the takedown there, though, Cam. And now it's a nice position for Nkomo to start to go to work.
Maseru's corner not really saying anything in that corner, actually speaking quite softly to him. And I think that's just, again, just focusing on keeping the athlete calm, especially under severe pressure like he is now. Maybe you would like to see the guy on the bottom just using the fence a little bit more to try and get up, but he has that leg hooked.
Some nice shots from Maseru,
and now
though.
he's landing those shots.
Just keeping hold of that hook, that left leg of his opponent, like you said, and there's some big hammer fists coming down from Maseru. That's a nice bit more better control from Mduduzi and Nkomo. He wants to slow it down, control that torso, and prevent him posturing up again. See if he can start taking advantage. There's a bit of gap. He's not framing up that much. Here's the lad on top. So it looks like Nkomo just wants to see if he can grab a limb, create that space, look for the transitions. There was a nice sweep in that first round. So he knows he's pretty good off his back. Have a bit more confidence in his ground game and look for the kind of opening. Wait for his opponent to make a mistake. Because he's a bit wide open when he postures up a bit, Cam.
Yeah, 100%. You know, Nkomo, who is on top, is going to look to pass that guard. And as I say that, he does that actually quite perfectly. You see that almost combat mount where he's using that shin to try and push down those hips, which is absolutely amazing because you can land just so much more punches. But now you see Maseru starting to become actually active on the bottom, which is just, it's just speaking volumes of the youth we have here at Versus.
He's getting some nice shots, though, isn't Nkomo? Just mixing it up nicely, just putting a bit of a grind on. But also patient on the bottom is Maseru.
First round, very, very even. Second round, I'm going to give to Nkomo. You know, he took him down with 2 minutes and 17 seconds left in that round, and he had top control landing punches. So it's going to, you know, it's going to take a lot from Maseru to come back from this, but who knows? Everyone has a puncher's chance. If he can just get that heart rate down and focus on that third round, he can maybe get the finish.
He's going to come out into the third round like a man possessed, I think. Yeah. Because I think he probably knows that second round he's down. The first one could be difficult one to score, perhaps, but you could probably shade with Nkomo. But I think Maseru needs to come out into this third round and really put on a show and start headhunting. In terms of, we're going to take a look at the replay now, but in terms of he had the double leg up against the fence. The takedown was pretty processed. It was pretty pedestrian. He didn't defend it much. You know, he didn't squat down. He didn't try and change levels. Didn't try to break the grip of his opponent by going down to the canvas. And he really got a really nice purchase on the takedown, was Nkomo. But it was very quick, to be fair.
100%. And I think that is something that we usually suspect from guys that do not have a lot of experience. Both of these guys combined have 5 fights. And, you know, that's, again, you are in a high-pressure environment. There is obviously, I think, there's no amateur promotion in Africa as big as this. And now you need to start performing. You're always going to go back to your basic fundamentals and your muscle memory. And for Maseru, it is the stand-up exchanges. So hopefully he can apply that in this third round.
Well, great insights from Cameron Simon. EFC and, of course, UFC. Former bantamweight champion joining us on the call. Vessel Fossa, of course, your announcer here at Versus Fight Night 5. And you asked them to start swinging. Is exactly what we expected. And that's what we're getting.
Oh, what a head kick.
I don't know if Freddy Basson wants to take a look,
Yeah.
sending him back to the corner. It was almost like the knee connected as the opponent came in.
A knee definitely connected to the head. But no, he wants to fight. He doesn't care about the knee to the head, so they want to continue.
That's what it was like, referee Freddy Basson, what are you talking about? Let's carry on the action. And the crowd like that as well. They like to see that in a fighter. Let's carry on where we were, but again, back on his back. Here's Holompho
massive
Maseru.
shots landing from Nkomo. Maseru wants to get out of this position immediately. Like, literally take all the energy you have just to get back to your feet. If you want any chance of winning this fight, you need to get out of that half guard position, because Nkomo will keep you there all day, and he'll walk away with the decision win.
He's going to look to try if he can pass guard. He's got knee on belly. He's going to go into full mount any minute now. Now he's putting the heavy hips down his Nkomo. Like you said, Cam, after that second round on the ground, Maseru doesn't want to see out this last 2 minutes in the final third in this position. He's got to look for the butterflies, see if he can stretch him out a little bit. Not posturing up too much as Nkomo, though. There's still plenty to work with for Maseru. Even at this position, the shots are coming in now.
Massive shots, and you see him go for the back. Will you see the grappling pedigree of Nkomo from BJJ MMA?
It's more of a neck crack than anything else. He's got the figure of 4 body lock on. Doing well to defend.
Also super hard with these amateur gloves to really get a proper submission in. So your technique has to be perfect.
You're doing well not to grab onto the gloves and underneath the cuffs as well, because that's something that I always do, is trying to get my fingers in there, but we do that in front of a referee like Freddy Basson. But nice and patient, just readjusting the choke now as Nkomo. He'd like to be a little bit more deep, still on the chin a little bit more. He hasn't got the forearm completely under. If he just keeps readjusting it, his opponent's going nowhere with that figure of 4 body lock. It's nice and patient from Nkomo. This will mean a lot to him to get the win for him and a finish here, the first fight at Versus Fight Night 5.
Beautiful body triangle, and it looks like the lock is over the teeth, which actually quite hurts a lot, even if you have a mouth guard in there. But it just speaks volumes of how tough Maseru is.
He's trying to turn in as well. Nkomo's following him the right way. Nice to see these guys. He's cranking on it now a bit more. Was Maseru thinking about tapping? I don't think so, and he gets out of it. Fantastic show of guts and display.
If he can put him belly down, he can start raining punches. That is close to perfect.
Nasty position now.
Big
from Holompho.
shots landed.
Again, continuing to stay in full mount. Here's Mduduzi Nkomo. Holompho Maseru taking a couple of shots. That was a nasty laugh. And he's following up to finish strong once he hears the bell. Big shots coming down.
That seals the deal for Nkomo. The man is ecstatic. Absolutely amazing and great sportsmanship by the young lads.
10 more seconds, Cam. You know, I think referee Freddy Basson might have finished it.
100%. You know, if that was a professional fight and you had 5-minute rounds, I think the outcome of this fight would have been much different. I think we definitely would have seen a finish. But well done to these guys. 5 combined amateur fights, and you see this high level of stand-up. You see a high level of groundwork, and it just speaks again, just volumes of that coach in his corner, Bobby Karagianidis. And I went to go practice that surname, I promise you.
Karagianidis, you did very well. Better than my Afrikaans, mate, that's for sure. But you're completely correct. In terms of that ground program at BJ MMA, I mean, they do a lot of fantastic groundwork, does Bobby, with his lads. And it was a show of patience. Mduduzi Nkomo really displayed that, just readjusting the choke, following his opponent. And I was impressed with Holompho Maseru. Was never out of the fight. He kept trying, was active off his back, wasn't taking a huge amount of damage, turned the right way, but once the full mount, once he got stretched out, it was a very nasty position. But Nkomo was very, very cool, calm and patient, and you can see how much that win meant to him.
Yeah, 100%. You can see he's absolutely ecstatic talking there in the Versus cage.
And he's got a great physique for a flyweight. He's a big lad.
100%.
Yeah, considering he's at 56.7 kilograms, he's quite a strong flyweight. He's a big chap. He's a problem when he turns pro. I can imagine there's, after tonight, when we've got the flyweight title on the line here later, between Kelvin Smith and Tando Zondi, that looking at a guy like Mduduzi and Nkomo, he's going to cause some problems in the division at Versus.
100%. We talk about the professionalism and these guys stepping up as amateurs but being much more professional. You see it in how these guys are built. When I was fighting as an amateur, it was bad. You know? These guys are ripped.
All right, let's get the official result and send it up to our fight announcer here, Wessel Fosse.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout, after 3 rounds, via unanimous decision, from the red corner, Mduduzi Nkomo.